Albany to Mundaring or Mundaring to Albany, whichever way you want to do it. 1,067 kilometres. Pretty much all off-road, mix of single track, gravel roads, some fire trails, a few little bitumen sectors to link it up, but it's very hilly and it's very long and potentially pretty challenging trails. The fastest known time for a female is Sasha Dow. It's 3 days, 15 hours and 43 minutes, which is pretty fast.
Yeah,
I will say it's not slow.
It's good going, yeah. Yeah.
Jack Thompson did it last year and he didn't sleep. So the men's record is, I think, almost a day faster. I know me personally, I'm going to be faster if I sleep, and I think speed while riding is what I have on my side. Stop in and up halfway for hopefully a good 6 to 8 hours and then just keep trucking, and if I need to sleep again it'll be a nap in the pea gravel.
I first heard about the trail when Craig Wiggins broke it. I looked into his ride, everything, was super impressed by it. Kept following it for a little bit, but there'd been no FKT since. And then I just randomly followed Jack, never met Jack before, and then saw he was going back to break it. And then it always interested me, like I have done 1 or 2 FKTs before. It's a good size length that you can do it off your race fitness. It's not like you need to train sleep deprivation and everything like that. I thought you could just push through that and it'd come with the challenges.
I was driving from Denmark to Albany. I was sat in the car with my mum, and it's one of those moments where you're like, man, this thing was so far away for so long, and then it was closer and closer, and now it's actually happening. A bit weird because it was in the afternoon and the weather was a bit strange, and it was a bit of a weird feeling, to be honest. It didn't feel like a race, but at the same time it sort of did.
I think driving to the start to Albany, it was pretty bad. Like, I reckon my heart rate would have been the same as what it would have been on the start line of the Worlds or something. It was through the roof and you're just sitting in the backseat of a car doing nothing. Got to Albany and I had a section in my bag which was everything I needed. So I just made sure I took that whole part of my bag and I wasn't going to forget anything. So yeah, just planned that during the day.
I expected it was going to take me about 3 days or 72 hours. So if I did it that way, I'd get 3 full days of riding and only have to ride throughout the night twice if I stopped for a sleep in Nanup on the second night. So I was just trying to maximise daylight hours.
So I ran the skin suit, thermal undershirt, like a thermal base layer, and I had a gilet for the nights. And then the nights were getting down to 6 or 7 degrees minimum, maybe 8 degrees minimum. And yeah, it was not enough. Me and Cassia had a good laugh rolling out of Albany. Once we were 3 k's down the road, yeah, we had a good laugh about what we're actually getting ourselves into.
I would have taken off at a rate of knots. Yeah, a bit more probably.
No, the legs are alright. Pretty good.
I wanted to give it a crack because I wanted to push my limits and see what they were and do something really hard that was scary and challenging and something that was completely different to racing and pushing myself in a different way to how I normally do. Yeah, I also wanted to just give something a crack that seemed sort of impossible and to show other people that they can do that. Yeah, and even if something's scary, you can still give it a crack, even when the outcome is a complete unknown.
Denmark was the first town, maybe 80 k's in. So the plan was to stock up there because I knew I'd get there just before everything closed, grab some real food and fuel up for the night time. The towns are pretty limited and they're all 4 to 5 hours away, so I knew you're pretty much stopping at every town, whether it's like quick in and out to grab something or if you can have a proper break if you need it.
You probably can't even see me, just to give a bit of an update. It's 3 a.m. so I've been riding for 12 hours. Stopped for maybe like 20 minutes total to put some layers on and try to eat, but it's kind of hard in the middle of the night. I've honestly still been moving fairly well, all things considered. Averaged over 18, which is about what I was expecting, and I've had to go through a fair bit of sand. So I'm hoping that when the sun comes up in like an hour and a half, 2 hours, that things will be good tomorrow. Only issue is my left shifter has decided that 1 a.m. today is when it's going to start showing red. So I'm trying to not really change gears because I can't get batteries till like 9 a.m. probably.
I'd been in a pretty good mental space, nearing a point where I'd been the longest amount of hours that I'd ridden for. Sort of stopped and collected myself for 10 minutes or so and just, I had started feeling pretty like shaky and I was like, man, I'm not eating enough. And I was really trying. It felt a bit fruitless already. So I tried to, drank half a bottle of Coke, had some food, and I hadn't said anything negative until that point, but I sort of, looked at my mum and I was like, I don't know how I'm going to do this. Got to Walpole, I felt like a shell. I was really scared to keep going, I think. I didn't really realise it until, like, I sat down and Seb had said to me, like, it's okay, like, just eat and you can keep going. And I think I looked at him with a look of pure terror on my face. Ultimately, I wanted to keep going, but I knew if I'd already struggled to get food down, it was just going to get harder and harder. And I had to sort of ask myself, is this worth it with so many big races and goals coming up and things that I've worked so hard for? And opportunities have come up that I didn't want to like lose those opportunities because I made a silly mistake, somewhere out on the trail. No, I just am quite scared of continuing and then like making a mistake when I'm tired and putting other more important things at risk. But I also don't want to give up because everyone's put in so much effort and
we're like everyone's proud of you and supportive of you whatever you do, so don't feel pressure from others. Do it for you or don't do it for you. It's not, don't worry about the support. People will support you regardless.
I'd stop pretty much at every town, just find a service station because the service station has just worked well with everything's in a close proximity and they've got everything you kind of need and you're not wasting time walking down aisles in the supermarket and trying to find things. Later that evening, maybe 4 or 5 o'clock when I started to get super tired, where when I'd pull over, I'd have a small rest on the bars. Like if I need something out of my frame bag, I'd kind of just put my hands on my bars and just my arm on my saddle and just like rest my eyes for 30 seconds or so, just close them because it's just hard on your eyes just being open the whole time. But the big thing is I wanted to crack halfway so it was easier mentally, just on the mind, to go shorter the next day and to be over halfway, because I just wanted to know that I could just repeat what I did, if not less. But the only way to do that was to stop in Nana, which was 580 k's along the trail. I booked an Airbnb only a few days prior. I left it pretty late. I found one of the houses on the Munda Biddi Trail. So rolled into Nana, had some food at the pub, just a bowl of chips. Straight after that, I rode around the corner, put everything on charge first, had a super quick shower, went to bed pretty much straight away, like double checked everything was on charge. And the plan was to roll out of there at midnight, so set another alarm for 2 hours. Got up at 12, and by 12:15 I was out the door after raiding their little biscuit jar. I had no food for breakfast. I realised there was just nothing. I had a little biscuit jar, so I had 4 of those little Arnott's biscuits with the orange cream in the middle. That set me off for my ride, and then 30 minutes in down the trail, just got stuck back into the snakes and Powerade and everything that I got the day before. And it was a pretty big shock. Like, it was freezing cold, 6 degrees. And it was pretty tough just to get motivated. And I knew that like the motivation would soon come and that you'd be back in just that flow state of, nothing else but just to pedal. But the first hour was super hard mentally. But I knew I didn't have long till sunrise. Like, it's 5 hours or just under 5 hours until the sun comes up. And it wasn't until about 4 a.m. when I got super tired, when I knew I hadn't rested up enough, where I started to doze off, fall asleep a bit, just hold it up.
Morning.
Good morning. How you feeling?
That was a rough night.
Oh, was it? Yeah. You've made awesome progress.
Yeah, not too bad. I had like a little crash in the middle of the night, like just a tiny one.
Yeah.
But I had a little pouch of caffeine gels.
Oh yeah.
All those are gone.
Oh no.
So then I've just been so tired.
Yeah.
And then I laid down for 10 minutes in that park back there.
Yeah.
And then just fell straight asleep.
Yeah.
I woke up to my alarm.
Yeah.
And then when I left, it was freezing cold. So I got the tea towel down my jersey.
Yeah, nice. Love that. Improvise.
I think definitely the cold weather helped through the night time with sleep deprivation. It kind of just kept you awake and fresh. I remember stopping a servo and refueling for the day, and that felt really nice just to get some proper food in again, restock of what you've got. And although there was more climbing the first day, there was 8,300 metres the first day, the climbs on the second day were just a lot more brutal. Like, there was a lot in mountain bike parks and a lot of single track, a lot of steep climbs. I think on the first day the climbs were more around that 4 to 6%. On the second day, that's when they started to hit like 10%, 12%, and it would just be super slow, super fast on the downhills, but you know that because it's so fast and you're not at that much elevation, that it's going to be over pretty quick. and then you'd be straight back into the next one. But it was with 150 k's to go of the trail where I started to get knee pain. Kept pushing through it. It was pretty uncomfortable but not excruciating. Backed it off a little bit, but I didn't find that there's much difference between like 150 watts or 250 when you're climbing. And yeah, I was still able to do good power. Like you look down on a climb and you're still doing like high 200s. You're like, I'm literally feel fine in the legs. Like hasn't really, I've just been riding the same the whole way that I'll be able to do it.
Oh, it's going to be close if I don't start cranking it in. Hey, feeling? I reckon at the moment I've got it by like an hour 15 if I hold it. Yeah. My pace. The road looks tough ahead. Yeah. I was cranking it way back there. Yeah. Average like 27 for an hour. Oh, shit. Which was like upping it a lot. Then just hit sand. Then started walking and I was like, there's all my fucking, there's all my hard work gone, just like, yeah. You just start like cranking it, then you just hit sand, and your average gun goes straight back down.
Just the thoughts that go through your head. Yeah, you wouldn't even want to know that thing.
It'll be worth it when you finish.
The last one was the eggs. I just couldn't stop thinking of the eggs for like...
You wanted some eggs? We're getting some
No,
eggs
just like...
If nothing else, you like eggs or a lot of enjoyment?
No, I was just like...
eggs, like eggs?
I'm just fried. And then I was like an egg. And I was like, oh... It'd be scrambled. And then I was like, you wouldn't be poached or boiled. And then I was like... I could be sunny side up with this helmet, and then I was just thinking of all this stuff.
Yeah, whatever it takes to keep your mind occupied. Mate, you're superstar.
With 100 k's to go, I had 6 hours 15 maybe to do it, and I knew I had it. Like 100 k's to go when you see it clock over from triple digits to just 99 k's to go. Is a massive relief, and you're like, yeah, we're on the home run here. Like by the end of this, it's gonna take me till 2 a.m. or whatever it is, and I was like, later this night I'm gonna be in bed, like the whole thing's gonna be done, like would have had a good ride, I've done it, like the motivation was there. That next 30 k's from 100 k's to go, it escalated really quickly. I think it just got overdone so quickly. The trail definitely didn't help. It was super steep climb, super technical, a lot of single track, like nearly no road at all. I remember pulling over and looking at my phone just to hope it would make it easier mentally, seeing that there'd be fire road or some sort of straight line on the map ahead. It was all just windy. I looked at the map and the whole thing, maybe until 3 k's to go, was single track. And then that didn't help mentally. And then also just the stress that I reckon I was going through with my knee, along with the pain. I think I was a bit stressed and it didn't really help that I had 6 hours to do the last 100 because the pain started to wash off my speed. And it started to get more towards 20k an hour, and then I was like, I'm only going to beat the record by 1 hour. And you're like, if I have to stop and sleep, or if there's more climbing and more sand, then I was like, this is gonna go within an hour. And then it must have been around 80 k's to go. I started sitting on less than 10k an hour. I couldn't get out of the seat because my knee sent sharp pains all the way up my leg. And then it just slowed, and I think I did that last 10 k's in over an hour, definitely. And then I remember making a phone call to Cam saying, I think I asked him where he was. Like, I was on this little bit of single track. Knew I couldn't fall asleep or knew I couldn't get picked up there. So I had to get to a road which was 3k away, and that would have taken me a good 20 minutes, 25 minutes. Got to the Albany highway, and yeah, my phone had been flat for a little bit by then. Yeah, I just laid on the side of the highway until hopefully someone came and picked me up, because I knew with how slow I'd done that last hour that it would take me 10 hours to do the rest of it. So yeah, I got to the Albany highway, laid down on the side of this crush rock, drain, and laid there for maybe 15 minutes. Jumped on my bike, rode maybe a K, and I saw a car come over the hill. And then, I remember seeing the blinker turn on to pull over, and I was just like, oh, thank God. I just wanted to finish the thing so badly. So I asked Cam, I remember one of the first things I asked him was how far it is in by the road. I was like, if I don't get there by the trail, I at least want to do it by the road. And then he said it's 60 Ks. And I was like, oh, it's only 70 Ks by the trail. I was like, 60 Ks I'm not going to be able to sit on 25 or 30. I was like, it's going to be slower than that. Like, I could barely pedal. I'll get 3 pedal strokes in and then have to freewheel. So yeah, it's a pretty tough call, but yeah, I did it. And you had to jump in the car after 57 hours, I think, and 995k. Like, I sat down on the back of the car, was just thinking, like, I don't know what to do. Like, I can't pedal, but I want to finish it. Like, but I was kind of just stuck between a rock and a hard place. And Cam said to me, oh, well, like, if you keep riding, it doesn't matter if you get it or something, like, you'll have the second fastest time. And I was like, the second fastest time doesn't matter. I was like, you either have a record or you don't. Like, you're number one or you're not there. And I knew I still had, if I did get Jack's record, I still had, it's either 3 or 5 hours back to Craig's, and I would have rolled in between that time. But yeah, I just wasn't there to get the second fastest time. I was there to either get it or not. And yeah, straight away I remember thinking, like, just sitting in the car, I was ruined, could barely stay awake, but couldn't sleep because I was in a lot of pain. And yeah, it was a pretty tough drive back mentally. You just felt pretty defeated, but there was nothing you could do about it, really. And I remembered, like, thinking, yeah, that was a stupid idea, like, I won't do that again. And then you get 4 days down the track and someone asks you whether you're going to do it again, and you're like, yeah, maybe. And then next person you say is like, yeah, probably. And then all of a sudden you're just going to do it again. So I think, looking at it now, it was pretty fun, the whole planning, preparation. I was always a strong time trialist, and time trialing needs a lot of good preparation, good bike setup, good position, like comfort, like equipment, everything's got to be dialed, your schedule. So I think the time trialing part taught me, like, just the enjoyment of planning, really. And yeah, kind of just going out and going your hardest. But it's all the minor details that gets you across the line. Yeah, I'm proud of what I did. Got not quite to the end, but the effort that I put in, training that went into it, the whole preparation, the planning, the schedule that I was on. Yeah, literally right up until the 100k to go mark. Yeah, proud of everything that I put in. The whole thing was going very well. Was up on the record the whole way. Paced it perfectly. Slept well. Did everything right by the books. Visited all the hut. Yeah, followed the trail. But yeah, the body's taken a huge knock. And yeah, just coming to the end of the recovery now.
I I won't say no to doing it again. I think if I do, I want to do it, ride the whole trail beforehand and then make a plan based off that. I think for me, knowing the trail will make a huge difference and knowing what to expect, especially mentally and in terms of not being stressed. So I'll do it pub to pub with some friends and then I'll make a decision about how I do it again, because I definitely, it's unfinished. Yeah.